Hi everybody, it's Mr. Corzine. I'm back. I'm going to walk you through the second side of your paper today. While I can't be there today, but I figured I would help you with maybe some of the challenges with this problem. Um, I will get you started. I won't do every last little bit, but keep in mind before you leave class today, you'll need to have this side of your paper as well as the other side where we're practicing graphing those functions and writing the rule for each function. So let's take a look at what the problem what kind of situation it's representing, and see if we can create a table, a graph, a set of ordered pairs, and a rule. So Ben, he's got a puppy, and when it was born, it weighed 2.5 pounds. Then it started gaining a pound each week. Represent in 4 ways the relationship between the puppy's weight in pounds with its age in weeks. Okay. Well, I usually like to get started keeping track of all of the information on my table first. So what I want to do is I'm going to use this first box for my labels. It'll just be X and Y. But they don't tell us X and Y up here. They use, there's a couple different pieces of information we're keeping track of. There's the time in weeks, and then there are pounds. So time usually goes here in our X column, our input. It's the independent variable. So I'm just going to write weeks here. And then over here, I'm going to write pounds. Now, right off the bat, there is always a mistake that some students make. They want to skip ahead to the first week, week number 1, when really, when the puppy is born, has it been old enough? Like, could we count it as 1 week old? No, we can't. It's 0 weeks old. It's barely been born. So, so when it is born, when it hasn't lived a week even, how much does it weigh? It weighs 2.5 pounds. All right. If you start from here with the 0 weeks and 2.5 pounds, everything's going to be fine. If you set it up in a different way, if you start with a 1 and 2.5, then it's not going to be accurate. So from here, after 1 week, how much is the puppy going to weigh? Well, it's going to gain 1 pound every week. So that means it will be 3.5 pounds. In another week, by the end of the second week, it's going to be 4.5 pounds. And at the end of the third week, it will be 5.5 pounds. This is not difficult. You could keep going. You could add more weeks. You could go up and see further down the road, like 10 weeks, 20 weeks if you wanted to. But for right now, we're going to leave it like this. I'll take from this table my ordered pairs. So my ordered pairs are going to look like this: 0 and 2.5. That's one of them. 1 and 3.5. That's another pair. 2 and 4.5. And finally, 3 and 5. So I'll scroll on down. And the interesting thing about ordered pairs is usually you want to put them onto the graph. So if we're going to put them onto the graph, then we have to understand what information, what our labels should be. I guess I'll do this here. On my x-axis, what information do I have in my table? Well, those are going to be weeks. Yeah, usually time goes by down here at the bottom. So I'm going to write weeks. And then up and down on the y-axis, that's going to be my pounds. So I'll keep track of my pounds. And I think I can just, well, I'll just write pounds here. The next thing I want to do is I want to map out or measure out my intervals for the number of weeks and the number of pounds. I don't have that many weeks going by. So my biggest number here is 3. If I wanted to track it past 3 weeks, that's fine. But I still have enough room where I can go every other line. I start here at 0. Then every other line is, no, that's not what I want to do. Every other line is going to count as 1. Okay. So I'm going to try this one more time. So every line, 1, skip a line, 2, skip a line, 3, skip a line, 4, skip a line, and 5. This requires some planning. You might want to count out ahead to make sure you have enough room. And if you need to use your eraser, you know, this planning takes, it's not easy and it takes some brain power. So keep that in mind. Don't skip over that part. For the pounds, the highest number of pounds I have is 5.5, but I would like to be able to show half. So let's say I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like I'm just gonna have to go up by ones. I don't think I really have any other really good options. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll stop there. We'll see if we need any more. All right, now I put my ordered pairs onto the graph. Let's see, I got 0 and 2.5. So 0, I don't go right or left. I just go up to 2.5. My first point, maybe I'll use a different color. 0, 2.5. Then 1, 3.5. 2, 4.5. And 3, 5.5. Is this a linear equation? Yes, it is. It makes a nice straight line. It's going up consistently by the same amount every time. Now, the last thing we want to do is write the rule or function. It comes in the form of an equation. If I'm going to do that, I need to, well, I got to figure out what's the relationship between x and y. It should be pretty simple, but you know, sometimes it's not obvious what the function should say. Even though you know what the pattern is, you don't always know what it should say. So here I've got 0, 1, 2, and 3, and my outputs are going to be 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and 5. Okay. Do we see what's happening here? We're going up by 1 every time, which is a good clue, except for we don't really want to multiply times 1. So we're basically going to take 0. We don't have to multiply times anything. What could we add or subtract to make 2.5? If I look closely enough, I can see I can add 2.5 and I'll get 2.5. Easy enough. Let's try the next one. I go from 1 to 3.5. Will this rule hold up? 1 plus 2.5 makes 3.5. Yes, it does. Let's keep going. 2 plus 2.5. Does that make 4.5? Yes, it does. And finally, 3 plus 2.5 makes 5.5. Now, all of that seems really easy, but sometimes people still get stuck at the very end writing their equation. So I'll take you all the way to the end. X and Y. What do I do with this number? What have I done with all these numbers in the previous columns or previous rows? I took this number, I added 2.5, and that always gave me Y. So my rule in this case, if I rewrite it in, you know, it's just the form that normally you see the function as. We start with y equals, and then we do x plus 2.5. There it is. There's your rule. Guys, make sure that you complete this on your own. You have all of your labels on here. You show me how you're able to find what the rule is, what's happening every time. The more you can write on here, the better. The nicer you can make it look, the better. And this is all in preparation for your quiz that will probably be on Monday or Tuesday of next week. All right, guys, have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.